Well, the champagne has been popped and the cake has been cut. The ANC is 104 years old, and the celebrations taking place at the at Rustenburg Stadium, at Royal Bafokeng Stadium in Phokeng in Rustenburg. And of course, the highlight of that celebration is the statement delivered by the ANC on behalf of the National Executive Committee of the ANC, which is the highest decision-making body between Congresses, but delivered by the sitting president of the ANC. And of course, joining us now to elaborate a bit further on what came out of that January 8th statement is President Jacob Zuma himself, who is the president of the ANC. Thank you so much, President Zuma, for speaking to us. Well, let me start by congratulating you. I mean, it was a scorcher of heat in Rustenburg, but the stadium was absolutely packed to capacity. And people stayed, people, endured through the heat. Are you satisfied with the way the celebrations went in the Northwest?
Yes, I am. I am very satisfied. I started yesterday with the traditional leaders where we were cutting a cake and I think it was a very good celebration then. And today it was a celebration of the whole country. And I think people came in numbers. Despite the fact that the sun was really hot, and they stayed and really concentrated in listening. I think the celebrations have gone very well. And I think the organizers organized it very well. And I think the province played a very important role, as well as the national leaders who came to participate. I think we are satisfied that it has gone very well.
How much depth are you reading into it, President Zuma, that, obviously in an event like this, a national event, people have to be bussed in from across the country. It's natural. It's something that every political party does on an event like this. But how much are you reading into the fact that you could fill up that stadium? Do you believe that it necessarily translates to more loyalty for the ANC, even in electoral politics?
Absolutely. I think the ANC commands the support of the majority of the people in this country. That's what it means. I haven't seen parties filling stadiums. We can fill any stadium. As you know, today people were outside. And we fill any stadium, no matter how big it is. So I think that emphasizes the point that the ANC still is the organization that people believe is their own organization. They support it. It carries the dreams and aspirations of the people. And I think its government is doing whatever it can to address their plight, their challenges. And I think that's how people understand the ANC.
In fact, the words you used at the gala dinner was that in the foreseeable future, there is no substitute for the ANC among the people of South Africa. Now, some have read that to be a climb down from the ANC will govern until Jesus comes back.
No, it's the
is
same.
it a climb?
It's the same. It's the same. If I say there is no substitute, it means there is no one in the foreseeable future. The foreseeable future can be as long as anything, as perhaps the time when that young fellow would decide to come back. It is absolutely a reality. You know, people don't look at the reality. I know that people at times are driven by their own feelings, etc. The reality is that there is no party in this country that has superior policies like the ANC. It's not the question of loving the name. Much as the ANC was established by the people of this country, which is different from others. Others were established by some people, few, etc. The ANC was established by the entire Southern Africa. It belongs to the people. Besides that fact, it has established policies that are very superior. You can't think you can come with alternative policies that are above the ANC policies. There's no party that has done so, whether you look at manifestos or whatever. And therefore, you can't think that South Africans don't understand that and they can just move away to a party because somebody maybe is talking too much or is making more slogans or is angry. People are looking for what it is going to change their lives. And the ANC is the only one. And that's why I was making the point. Because no one so far has come with policies to say we can do better here because we'll do X, Y, Z. So I say that from a comfortable position, because I'm not necessarily in a kind of game where I'm just afraid of the slogans of people who talk forcefully. I mean, many of them are really saying nothing. The ANC says things. The ANC talks to people. And since 1994, people have proved the point that the ANC is their future, and they vote for the ANC.
Right. President Zuma, I want to touch on one issue before we take a quick break. You touched on this issue in the January 8th statement that you delivered on behalf of the NEC, the issue of this conversation that's happening in the country around racism, white privilege, and the extent to which we have achieved reconciliation. What was the point that you were making there?
The point that I was making there is that with time, people have tended to exaggerate the issue of racism. Because they say South Africa is still a racist country. Not true. We defeated racism when we pursued the non-racial society. Our society is a rainbow nation, is non-racial. It does not remove certain individuals who have racist beliefs, who are uttering racist statements. You cannot, because people less than 5 have made racist statements and then brush the whole country that the country is racist. That's the point we're making, that we still need to school and talk to those people, even to those that have not made statements. There will be fewer than the majority of this country. So we can't take the majority, which is not racial, and say they're racial. That's the point we're making. But to say, for the fact that some people can make such racist remarks, liking the people to animals, it means there is job to be done, that we still have to educate ourselves as a country so that we get rid of such individuals who have those kind of beliefs, because they're wrong.
Mr. President, I want to pose one more question to you on that matter, but we'll do that just after this quick break.